Tonight on KGW News, Oregon faces off with the feds with a trial over National Guard deployment.
These are very un-American principles that are going on that are being attacked in our country.
Plus, a Gresham woman says she was detained by ICE just for taking pictures.
They changed my legs up and they put me in a cell for 7 hours.
And the mayor going door to door asking for your tax dollars and your vote.
I know that it's a difficult time, but we have to value the parks.
The big money issues on the ballot across the metro with Election Day just 1 week out. And later,
I try to lead by example.
Meet one impressive high schooler playing both sides of the ball and keeping in step with the band.
Junie never gets a break. Junie's on the field all the time.
But first, to breaking news in Wilsonville, where classes at Wilsonville High have been canceled tomorrow following reports of a threat. This evening, the district emailing families about a message written inside a boys' bathroom stall referencing the use of a weapon at the school on Wednesday. The district says law enforcement do not believe the threat is credible, but officials decided to cancel school as they investigate and try to identify who was responsible. Other schools in the district are not affected. Of course, we will update you if we learn more. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. Now to a significant decision from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which halts the deployment of National Guard troops to Portland, at least for now. So here's what happened. The Ninth Circuit agreed to rehear the case, essentially throwing out last week's split ruling by 3 judges that greenlit troops. Now, 11 judges will take another look, though there is no timeline for when that will happen. Meanwhile, the lawsuit at the center of all this, with Oregon and Portland fighting the Trump administration and looking for a permanent rather than temporary order over troops, is set to go to trial tomorrow. Alma McCarty spoke with a legal expert about what to expect. Alma?
Well, David, this trial, which is on an accelerated timeline, is going to drill down into the facts of what is happening on the ground and whether bringing in federalized troops is the correct response.
The way that I look at this is a systematic attempt by the president to really attack pillars of our democracy.
Attorney General Dan Rayfield speaking on the broader implication of a legal fight centered in the Rose City and around the ICE facility. The Trump administration's attempt to federalize Oregon's National Guard and deploy troops to Portland. A trial to challenge that begins Wednesday morning.
We're really focused on the case at hand this week to demonstrate to the court what are the real facts going on in Oregon to allow the judge to make an independent decision about the presidential power to put military on our streets.
The plaintiffs, including the state of Oregon and city of Portland, plan to call Portland police officers as witnesses. According to court documents, they're likely to detail how officers were caught up in, quote, federal law enforcement employing indiscriminate, excessive force against small crowds. Plaintiffs argue the feds' needless use of munitions at the ICE facility created an appearance of smoke, flashes of fire, and explosion, leading to more hyperbolic rhetoric from the president. They're arguing this is neither rebellion nor an inability to execute federal law, and troops aren't needed. The feds argue the opposite.
They actually think that what's been going on here can be viewed as a type of rebellion, and that peace and order are not able to be kept.
As defendants in the case, the federal government argues the president's call to send in troops was amply justified. Court documents cite assaults to federal officers, damaged federal property, plus the need to call in more officers, diverting them from other enforcement, like immigration.
Although a lot of this is going to be a very factual basis, some of this will be arguing on the law.
Despite the 3-day trial, Professor Laura Appelman with Willamette University says this fight is far from over.
What will happen then is whoever does not succeed on the merits will then appeal that decision to the Ninth Circuit and then possibly also at some point to the Supreme Court.
And again, the trial is expected to take 3 days, and we don't know how soon the judge will rule. In the meantime, temporary restraining orders issued by the district court are still in place to block deployment. David?
Yeah, so bottom line, status quo, at least for now. Thanks, Alma.
They were just laughing like it was a joke. Like they did not care. Like there was no heart in them. Like
tonight, a Gresham woman is speaking out after she says federal immigration agents detained her yesterday for taking pictures of what she believed were unmarked ICE vehicles. Oregon State Rep Ricky Ruiz posting the woman's story on social media, sharing a video from a witness. Today we talked to the 23-year-old who asked us to blur her face. She says after taking the photos, agents stopped her at a red light, arrested her, and took her to the Portland ICE building where they told her it was illegal to take pictures.
They changed my legs up and they put me in a cell for 7 hours. They wanted to ask me questions and record it, and I refused to answer any questions because I was really scared and I didn't trust them.
According to the ACLU, people have the right to photograph federal agents and police when they are lawfully present in any public space, but agents can also order citizens to stop if they are truly interfering with law enforcement operations. We have reached out to ICE for comment on this case and haven't yet heard back. Stay with KGW, of course, as we continue to follow ongoing immigration enforcement and the legal fight surrounding the deployment of the National Guard to Portland. You can find the latest updates here, online at KGW.com, or anytime on our free TV streaming app, KGW+. All right, let's take you outside now on this Tuesday with the roads a little wet as we track some showers moving through in the overnight hours. Matt, nice to have a little rain considering what last weekend blew in.
Yeah, man, that was a soaker. But the rain that we have right now will end by the time most of us get up tomorrow morning. So we'll be in good shape for a couple days. 50 degrees outside right now. It's a warm night because of the cloud cover and the rain. And the rain continues to fall. The winds are calm or light. And you can see on Doppler radar, another batch about to roll through downtown Portland, more to the west over the coast and the coast range. So we'll have this on and off throughout the nighttime hours. But around the time the morning commute gets going, this should largely be settling down. You can see the back edge here now approaching or moving into western Washington. The rainfall so far today, 0.13 of an inch at the airport, 1/10 of an inch in Vancouver. Out on the coast, more, over 1/2 inch up at Astoria, and about 1/3 of an inch at Newport. So again, fairly reasonable for this time of the year and for this type of a system. Timberline, now you may be wondering, hey, we got all that snow this weekend and we're getting rain right now. Are we getting more snow in the mountains? And the answer is no. It's 43 degrees up at 6,000 feet right now. So getting a bit soggy up there as our snowpack absorbs the rainfall. Now, here's hour by hour rainfall going through the nights. It picks up basically now until midnight, another about 1/4 of an inch, and then another 1/10 of an inch, a little bit more after that. See, it really begins to settle down about 3, 4, 5 a.m. It's going to be winding down. So rain overnight, clearing tomorrow. It turns into a beautiful day, actually, and still dry on Thursday. Then Halloween still looks like a close call for trick-or-treaters. We'll show you how close in a bit, David.
We'll stay glass half full on that one. Thanks, Matt. Okay, we are exactly 1 week out from Election Day with voters set to weigh in on whether they are willing to pay more in taxes in the name of public safety and parks. Catherine Cook shows us some of what's on the ballot.
In Northeast Portland,
hi, how are you doing?
Hi, you're the mayor.
I'm the mayor. How are you doing?
a special ask from Portland Mayor Keith Wilson.
We have a parks levy on Tuesday that we're voting on, and if you could help with that, that would be great.
As Election Day looms, voters are deciding if they'll support raising the city's parks levy, bringing in around $84 million in the first year. Taxpayers would pay $1.40, up from 80 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value.
I mean, I know that it's a difficult time, but we have to value the parks, and this is the time to really make sure that that value, that asset, is really high-performing and well-maintained.
Critics point to a recent audit that found 86% of Portland's park assets were in poor or very bad condition, and a massive maintenance backlog with no long-term plans to fix it.
We have to vote with our hearts and make sure that the parks are well-maintained and well-funded for the future.
In Southwest Washington, voters in Camas and Washougal will vote on whether to fund a Regional Fire Authority, or RFA. The Camas-Washougal Fire Department merged in 2013. Right now, it's the only agency in Clark County running 2-person engines. Fire Chief Cliff Free says creating an RFA would allow them to create 3-person engines and maintain their merger.
That it gives us a stable funding structure that we can do long-term planning for the needs of these growing communities.
A voter's pamphlet rebuttal argues that while a 3-person crew could modernize staffing, it isn't legally required. And in Vancouver, voters will decide whether to fund 13 more police officers. It would cost 15 cents a year per $1,000 of assessed value, about $75 for a $500,000 home.
Washington County is also asking voters to support a public safety levy. For someone with a $350,000 home, it would cost them $230 a year. The county says it would bring in around $300 million over 5 years. David.
Yeah, always a case of trade-offs. Catherine Cook in the newsroom. Thanks, Catherine. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now. A man is facing murder and harassment charges after authorities say he assaulted his cellmate inside the Clackamas County Jail. 23-year-old Sebastian Year was arraigned today on first-degree murder charges for the October 18th attack on Reese Richson. Richson later died at the hospital. Authorities say both men were placed in the disciplinary housing area after prior misconduct. Oregon and 24 other states are now suing the Department of Agriculture for suspending SNAP benefits during the government shutdown. Attorney General Dan Rayfield today calling that decision illegal and cruel, saying the department has the money to keep millions of Americans fed.
Anytime that there's a shutdown, they pass a contingency fund, and every president has used this contingency fund to make sure that Americans, Oregonians, have food during a shutdown. This is the first time in our country's history where we've had a president who said, you know what, I'm going to use food benefits for a political tool.
The Agriculture Department says those funds are not legally available. SNAP helps more than 40 million people nationwide, including more than 750,000 Oregonians. And Amazon is cutting 14,000 corporate jobs. It's not clear how many of those are in Western Washington, though. Keep in mind, 1 in 5 corporate Amazon workers are based in Seattle. The company says most workers will be given 90 days to look for a new job internally. The layoffs come as the company is ramping up spending on AI. Amazon also says more job cuts are possible.